The History of the World According to Ancient Aliens. My dad loves that show. My dad loves this guy in particular. Like that goofball everyone makes fun of, the aliens guy. Water goes in, water goes out. Only explanation is aliens. My dad loves that guy. He's like, Charlie, this guy knows his shit. And I'm like, Dad, that guy literally doesn't even have a degree in anything. He's just an actor. And he's like, yeah, but he knows his shit. Thanks, Resub Costanza and Jack Slice.
There are questions about the universe. Are we alone? How were the pyramids truly built? What are they keeping secret in Area 51? So many questions, and Ancient Aliens has none of these answers.
Disagreed. It's got all the right answers.
They had sex with wonderful earthly females.
Yes, it's 2021, and I'm talking about Ancient Aliens 10 years after the joke died.
My dad still watches it. This
We
is
all
relevant to
collectively
me.
agreed as a society that this show was the equivalent of your drunk uncle ranting during Thanksgiving dinner. We moved on as a species.
Is there some
hand
wild
in hand
juniper?
agreeing to forget this show existed. So how come it's still airing new episodes after 16 seasons? Who is still watching this? How does
My
this
dad.
have enough content to discuss aliens that are ancient for
I think my
almost
dad is the only
200
one still
episodes?
watching this.
And we all know the hot takes the series.
They're like catering the episodes to him.
Ancient aliens.
Like, hey Charles, I know you'll like this one.
And sonic levitation technology help early humans build the ancient wonders of the world. Moses and the Israelites acquired a supernatural source of energy at Mount Sinai. They
Thanks,
did
Resub
so in a
Asvi.
way that was designed to tap into the Earth's natural energy.
And these are not simply one-offs or suggestions. Every implied theory, every question, might as well be replaced with, yes, this did actually happen. It's like me saying there could be tiny pink goblins underneath my bed. Mainstream scientists say that goblins don't unplug my phone charger during the night, but my niche community of goblin enthusiasts think otherwise. And here's the evidence.
Good example.
Instead of goblins, these chuckleheads say aliens. It's a secret lore spanning the entire history of the Earth. that
Well,
only
some people
these
just aren't ready
ancient
for the
astronaut
truth.
Theorists have uncovered.
That's what
So
I'm
what
getting
is this
here.
forbidden knowledge
He
when
couldn't handle it.
summarized in a neat package? The real history that only these fantastic men have pieced together. I had to know, and I knew others needed to know as well. So I strapped myself in and watched every single Ancient Aliens episode,
What?
taking notes along the way to piece together a timeline of the world
No
that this
fucking
show
way.
believes actually happened. So prepare yourself, as you may not look at the universe in the same way.
How many episodes? That has to be over 1,000 episodes. Oh, I'm looking it up real quick. Ancient Aliens. It's 222 episodes. Okay, it's a lot less than I thought it was. Tiana watches more than that of One Piece in a week. I thought it was well over 1,000, I really did.
Again.
There's the bitch Ramon.
Despite watching every single episode, I still don't know how all of this started. And for that, we have Knowing Better, one of the first experts in this field.
Ancient alien or ancient astronaut theory didn't really become a thing until Eric von Daniken's book, Chariots of the Gods, which came out in 1968. And it really took off after the documentary in 1970. While studying the Bible at his Christian boarding school, Daniken noticed that some of the prophet's heavenly visits could be misinterpretations of extraterrestrial encounters. With that in mind, he started looking at other mythologies. Rather quickly, he noticed that the Sumerians, Hindus, Chinese, and even the Aztecs had similar stories. And this alien intervention explained a lot about their culture.
I think
Why
there's
does every
definitely life
civilization
out
have
there
a flood
somewhere.
myth and tales about dragons and giants?
I've
Why
never
did they
been
all
here,
build
though.
pyramids? And how could these primitive people possibly know more about the stars than the Europeans? I'm not saying they learned it from aliens, but They must have learned it from somewhere.
So now you know what we're dealing with. A very sane and reasonable alternative to mainstream history and science, and religion, and reason, is what a mainstream historian would say. But
Thanks for
here,
Prime, Danny.
we're all ancient astronaut theorists. So where to begin? It's simple. It all began 450,000 years ago. Aliens came across Earth and discovered Neanderthals, along with the other Homo species. Earth was the prized planet. Not only was it rich in resources such as water, but also with gold. Gold is valuable, you know?
Yep, my dad
Aliens
always talked
wanted it.
about how
But what
aliens
to
want
do?
our gold.
It's not like they traveled across dimensions.
He made it sound like they were like leprechauns from space.
Strip mine the planet.
No, you silly livers. No!
They have a better idea. Create an artificial slave species in their image. The first 2 humans were placed into what we would call the Garden of Eden, but really this was a genetic playground for the aliens. Yet not all was well. Some aliens wished to give humans intelligence, and this was interpreted as the snake in the garden. This started a civil war within the alien
Exhibits Blue
civilization.
Cow.
One which humans interpreted as a war between good and evil across all cultures. This was depicted in the Hindu scripts or in the Bible. Satan was actually a roguelike alien who gave humans the first spark of true intelligence.
And this isn't just Satan. We see the same story repeated
Satan
across
was an
religions.
alien?
There are numerous examples of
Interesting.
higher powers giving mankind some knowledge or tool they weren't supposed to have. Remember Prometheus giving humanity the gift of fire? It's also a common theme in mythology for the gods to split into factions over what knowledge humans should or shouldn't have, or alien factions in this case.
Humans were just left alone during this war and bred with other hominid species. This mixing with ape genes was the
I hope you're doing well,
original
Alex.
sin
That's great to
of
hear.
the human race, and aliens
Thank
struck
you.
early humanity down in punishment. The other hominids were destroyed as the aliens decided to wipe out the world of impure human species, which was also known as the Great Flood. Noah, being half alien, was deemed worthy to continue the human species by the aliens, bringing 2 of every animal in a spaceship to survive until the destruction was over.
Pretty good deal.
After this, humanity was restarted in ancient Sumeria, where the first civilization was built. It was here that the aliens ruled as god kings, either instructing kings to rule by their
Is it
hand
tier 1 Shadow
or
Ninja?
outright ruling themselves. The humans had no capacity to understand what they were witnessing. The technology was just so advanced, outside of their comprehension. They could only describe such alien feats as the power of gods. Humans were created as a slave race. Even though they had intelligence, they had no control of themselves. Every invention, every single action taken in the growth of civilization was taught by some great outside force. After this origin for humanity, mankind settled down into various civilizations across the world. We now have the ancient aliens' Age of Heroes. You know a mythology? You know a hero? It's all of them. Every tale of Hercules,
Is an alien?
Gilgamesh, Beowulf, Chinese dragon gods, and even Aztec Quetzalcoatl. It's all real. Your values may be shaken or destroyed. But that's okay. They should be. Ancient Aliens is a staunchly atheist show after all. It has no time for evidence that isn't based on science or logic.
Is it possible by reaching this altered state of consciousness?
That evidence of extraterrestrial intervention in the construction and placement of these incredible structures
To create a great flood.
Humans simply couldn't understand
Alright,
the
I'm on
technology they were
board.
seeing, and so they worshipped their alien overlords as gods. This logic transfers to every single religion. For the Greeks and Romans, they would be living on Mount Olympus.
I just kinda wanna watch
Zeus
highlights of
himself
Ancient
was leader
Aliens
of the
now.
aliens with his spaceship plopped on top of the mountain. His massive energy
Is it
weapon,
tier 1 Bets
misthought
FR?
of as a lightning bolt. Egyptian gods were alien experiments, and Egyptian pharaohs may have been aliens themselves. Look at that head. No refuting that. Even Yahweh, heaven, hell, angels, demons, it's all aliens. The aliens wouldn't stop right there though. This was the Age of Heroes after all. And what were the heroes of old mythology? Half man, half god.
Poseidon fell in love with a beautiful human girl. And he made her pregnant.
Aliens bred with human women. And yes, this
That's
does
a beautiful
include
story.
the Virgin Mary. Fucking hell. Aliens overrule all human societies across the ancient world, including Atlantis, which was a real place. Aliens come up from the ground in holes between dimensions, teaching humans how to build anything. Buildings,
Thanks, Russo
stone
Jester.
monuments, dirt mounds, and most
Thank you for that,
importantly,
man.
pyramids. But why? Why would an intergalactic
I don't
alien
know, Eddie.
civilization be interested in humans
Thank you for the
building
bits.
temples? Well, ancient astronaut theorists
This is
have
Puma
a few,
Punku. That was
many
Puma Punku.
theories. First, aliens wanted to prop humanity up, and the best way to improve them is to teach them how to build monuments, either by giving them the knowledge of how to do so, or building the monuments themselves. The second is for blood sacrifice. Why were so many ancient civilizations into sacrificing for their gods? It's simple. The gods told them to. They wanted human blood. The third is to have every monument on Earth be specifically built on areas of geomagnetic significance. As you see, the entire globe has a secret geomagnetic grid that, if harnessed, can be used by the aliens to either fuel their space empire or simply to travel across the globe faster. Yeah.
Thanks a bits, Jukebox.
That might have been given to us by an alien.
These brick and stone structures have the ability to manipulate magnetic fields and even gravity in such a way that it powers and
Aliens very
benefits
well may have
alien
created anime.
civilizations. Humans never
haven't seen
actually
enough
built
Ancient Aliens yet.
anything of their own will. Humanity does not have the agency nor intelligence to do anything.
Okay, humans did do things of their own free will. They just received occasional guidance from extraterrestrial powers to guide humanity on its path. A little intergalactic inspiration never hurt anybody.
The wheel, aqueducts, smelting of steel for swords, even language itself, all were taught by aliens for reasons.
Thanks to give
Reasons
Sublimin.
outside our puny little minds. It's all
Or
part of the plan. After all, the
Melangelo?
creation and sexy times were over. The aliens were content in what they had done. They plopped
Thanks for
humans
some
into
noodles
the world
and
and left
hua.
humans alone to continue on by themselves. Their extraterrestrial influence and monuments left to be misinterpreted by mainstream historians who believed ancient people could actually construct pyramids by themselves. Thus, the history of ancient aliens comes to an end. The ancient astronaut theory in a nutshell. Wait, there's how many more seasons? The first century comes around and
Tier 1
aliens are
Koro?
still on Earth. Eventually, the old gods leave and the new gods arrive. The aliens have been meddling in the Middle East for some time. Jerusalem sees a lot of alien interference, like on the Temple Mount, which acts as a portal with aliens. And in this region of the world, it's going to be quite
Well, then,
important in the coming century.
Can we use it?
But what changes this? Constantine saw a cross in the sky, and after winning a battle, Christianity was legalized in the empire. But was that really a cross? Oh, you know what it is. Aliens stay around to dabble and influence wherever they feel like. A
There's
city in
some
India is
cosmic
nuked
and
off the
whoop
map
ass.
by aliens. Mohammed's journey to Jerusalem was just a little thing for fun. Joan of Arc meets with an alien who gives her a sword and tells her to go defend France against the English. And for the English, King Arthur, who was a real human being, not only was able to pull the sword from the stone because of alien biometric technology, but he was
Oh.
even helped out by the Lady in the Lake, or Alien of the Lake, who handed him Excalibur, a high-tech alien weapon. Other than appearing as brief religious images, aliens didn't really
Well
do
then.
much on the record for about 1500 years, mostly just overseeing the great job humanity was doing with those Mongol invasions, the Viking raids, and the Black Plague. They just do little things throughout that time to continue altering humanity.
The Black Plague in particular was engineered by an extraterrestrial we know as the Grim Reaper.
door.
In every depiction of the plague we can find, there's a
Wow.
cloaked figure
I've
floating
been
above all the
waiting for
dying
you,
humans. This
friend.
wasn't the
Hey,
angel
thank you
of
for
death.
the raid again,
This was an
Jojo. I
alien
appreciate
being.
it.
Thank you.
Makes you tier
It's
1
kind
bread
of
god
like when
and
you're in a
resub Brad.
City game and just
Hope you had a
wanna
great stream,
add some
Jojo.
natural disasters to mix stuff up.
Thank
That
you
was
so much.
until Da Vinci. That's right.
He was
the
an alien.
Renaissance, the resurgence of culture long
No
lost
doubt.
in Europe. Aliens did that, reintroducing technology or new technology directly into the head of Leonardo da Vinci and the great thinkers of the Renaissance. They gave him ideas of medicine, and even this tank thing that just so happens to look like something else. Christopher Columbus sees a glimpse of an alien ship while sailing to the New World, and we all know how influential the aliens were in the Americas. All the pre-Columbian civilizations of the Americas have been interacting with aliens for centuries. But we're not talking about America, we're talking about America. That's right, the founders knew aliens existed
Oh.
too. Jefferson, Washington, they all knew. They even put an intergalactic symbol of peace in Washington, D.C. to prove our alliance with our alien overlords. You really thought aliens were done altering our planet? We're just in time.
I
for
bet
the
aliens were
Industrial
good friends with
Revolution.
American
It did
founding
happen pretty
fathers.
fast. The aliens were planting some pretty naughty ideas of the combustion
I'm learning
engine
so much.
and electricity. The only way us modern humans would ever know how to do anything is by
Thanks for
alien
resub,
intervention.
Callahan.
Hell, the aliens even go to the Wild West to be seen by cowboys. Maybe even meet them.
Why did aliens give us a taint?
For
Yeah, that's a good
clarification,
question. Why
each
did they give us a
aliens,
taint?
Like any educational content,
serve a
must
purpose.
occasionally require sponsors to keep the lights on. In one episode, it's sponsored by the hit 2011 film Cowboys and Aliens. One can only imagine what it's like to shamelessly promote a product while also theorizing outlandish history.
Thank you, Context Dizzy, thank you. Unrelated, this video was sponsored by NordVPN. Oh no,
Nice.
it's the ETIP Stealers, an elite group of underground...
Perfected these things? Or is it
Wow, those last 19 centuries sure were fun. I wonder what the next century will bring.
possible that the Nazis perfected these things? Or is it possible that the aliens looked like Nazis?
Oh!
How bizarre would that be?
That's a good
Alright, I
point.
see where this is going.
Interesting. Interesting.
I think you get the shtick by now. Aliens did everything. Just everything.
Thanks for
Any
some ugly
important
mouse.
influential thing that your average 7th grader would know about, the aliens did it. By the 20th century, they not only had met with Nazis and perhaps taught them to create a portal between time and space, but they also taught humans how to build nuclear weapons, even though they warned humans, a decade later, not to use nuclear weapons. Name any event, any situation, any person or place ever, and it was involved with aliens. The Spanish flu, aliens. Any US president, they all know. Antarctica has a hole in the middle of it that houses an alien civilization.
Oh,
I watched
well, let's
16
just go
seasons
there.
of this show, just for this bit. And you know what? It wasn't worth it. I wanted to uncover every wacky claim,
Disagree.
every bizarre take, and after pulling back that curtain, you know what I found? Nothing. The most generic idea you have of ancient aliens without watching a full season is that they claim anything and everything is involved with aliens. It just takes a history book or a religious book and scratches out key figures with aliens.
Yeah, but they
And that's the
prove
point.
it.
There's a reason why Ancient Aliens is still on the air after 16 seasons. All they have to do is simply look back on anything that has ever happened and simply copy-paste E.T. into the mix. You do this for 10 episodes a pop, and you never have to worry about content a day in your life. And even with literally everything at their fingertips, the entire series probably only focuses on like 30 claims. In just the first 3 seasons alone, the Bermuda Triangle is brought up 10 times. And it's not just in passing. They repeat full segments with a reworded script.
Well, yeah,
and
that's the
different
History
footage.
Channel in a
They
nutshell.
don't just plagiarize history, they plagiarize themselves.
Okay, that's not fair. Ancient Aliens explores many different angles. Take the Ark of the Covenant. Was it a communications device so Moses could contact God? Was it a food or mana source? What about a bomb? The stories say it was radioactive. It could be any of these things, and we discuss those possibilities in multiple different
Interesting.
episodes.
Oh, you're still here. Well, that's a little awkward. Okay, well, even with that said, that just sounds like an excuse to reuse old content.
We just like to explore all of the possibilities for each topic.
Ah, yes. Topics like gods and aliens, angels and aliens, aliens and monsters, aliens and sacred places, aliens and deadly cults, aliens, gods and heroes, aliens and the creation of man, the Viking gods, magic of the gods, the Satan conspiracy, aliens in the Lost Ark, faces of the gods, aliens and superheroes, and this is just up to season 10. Anything a god was ever said to do in any religious text, aliens did it. Which brings me to the ultimate core of why this show exists, and what the ancient astronaut theory really is. Ancient Aliens is not a history show using
It's
science
entertainment,
fiction
baby!
elements. It doesn't even take elements from science fiction. Ancient Aliens is a religion. It's
Oh.
gods are aliens. Aliens so powerful and influential they control the every whim of mortal man, and their great deeds cannot even be fathomed by us, except for a few enlightened individuals. And most importantly, denouncing any gods other than their own. All the gods that ever existed or were depicted were not simply a part of mythology. They were real physical beings, extraterrestrials. So Ancient Aliens goes through any religious text that has ever existed and reads it as literally as possible. Clearly, the gods do not exist as they were depicted, so the only other explanation would be alien contact. Ancient Aliens isn't just
I believe it.
It's creationism with extra steps. In fact, the only thing keeping it from really being creationism is saying dinosaurs and humans lived together. Oh, come on.
Might ancient depictions of dinosaurs really be proof that humans and dinosaurs did, at one time, coexist?
I've been saying that for years. It's about time someone blows the lid open. Thanks to Tier 1 Mr. Mao.
On to Season 16, you can tell that nobody really wants to be there anymore. I don't want to be here. It's repeated the same evidence of Bermuda Triangle, Stonehenge, and Mayan temples for so long.
What about
but
Puma
it continues
Punku?
on, because it's easy money. History Channel is a dying network in part because it decided to promote half-baked mythology like this show, or Pawn Stars.
You know I can't eat donuts. I gotta have lean protein.
He is on a diet. We shouldn't be eating the stuff around him.
All right, that's okay. You can't have none, chump.
I'm not sweating this.
But now it's made its deal with the alien devil, and it's tied to its most profitable
Thanks
show.
to resub. Stupun?
That's just mainstream history and archaeology closing your mind to the possibilities. Keep believing whatever it is they taught you in school. I'll keep knowing the truth.
Alright, well, better wrap this up. Since Ancient Aliens, or the Ancient Astronaut Theory, is pretty much a religion, like any religion, it has to have a good end-of-the-world story, right? Oh boy, does it. It's just the apocalypse. The literal, biblical apocalypse. 4 horsemen, the battle between heaven and hell, Sam has to become the devil, but you know, the alien versions of that. 2 warring alien factions come to Earth to fight over the ultimate fate of the planet and mankind. The world is destroyed as all the calamities you can
Why would
ever
they fight
imagine
over us?
occur. Mankind,
To steal
which
our
was
anime,
never
maybe?
in control of itself, is destroyed by 2 alien factions none of us even know exist except for these guys on this History Channel show. We should have known, and it's all set to happen on December 21st, 2012.
God, I love Ancient Aliens. If my dad was still awake right now, I'd call him. Let him talk to you guys about Puma Punku. Actually, I've done that on stream before, haven't I? I feel like we've done this before. Haven't seen this video, but I feel like I've absolutely called him to talk about Puma Punku on stream before. He loves to bring up Puma Punku. It's about in a nutshell, Puma Punku is this weird place in Peru where they have like all of these really precise cut stone and like H-shaped stone that's all like extremely precise, and my dad's like, the only explanation is the aliens gave them lasers. This is laser carved stuff. Modern human beings can't do this, Charlie. That's what he always says. Anytime I bring it up, he's like, yeah, just look up Puma Punku. Thanks for the 5 gift subs, Lackman. And the resub, Cassidy and Smalls. Geography, now Belgium. Maybe. I want to see some more Ancient Aliens. Ancient Aliens, I can't watch any History Channel highlights on stream, god damn it. Oh, there's only History Channel uploads, son of a bitch. Unlucky.